Hi everyone, this is Fahad Mirza and I welcome you to the channel. If you are looking to use large language models in AWS, then I would highly suggest that you have a look at Amazon Bedrock service, which is a managed service from AWS that enables you to use large language models from a wide range. So what they have done is they have aggregated the models from various providers including AWS own model, Anthropic model, Llama models, Mistral and Cohere model, and there is a long list of models and that keeps growing, which you can use through either API or through user interface in Amazon Bedrock Service Playground. All you need to do is to just request access to the model, you get the access and then you use it, and as per these cloud services go, you only pay for what you use. If you want to learn more about these services and Amazon Bedrock in specially, then just go to my channel and search with Bedrock Complete Course, and you will find that I have done this course which will make you hero from zero in just under 20 minutes. So if you don't know what Amazon Bedrock is, just watch that course. For the purpose of this video though, I'm going to show you a very nifty feature from Amazon Bedrock that saves you cost if you are a heavy user of large language models, especially if you are using Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Haiku or Anthropic Claude 3.7 Sonnet or AWS's own Nova models. With the help of this new feature which is called as prompt caching, you can reduce the cost and latency up to 90 to 85%. So what happens is that by using prompt caching, you can cache frequently used prompts across multiple API calls. One of the most common use case which I have seen with the clients is that they use one set of prompts with lot of other models, and then they evaluate that which one has performed well, and then they use it. In some cases there is a multi LLM environment, and that is where this feature shines, because instead of making these API calls for every model under the hood, they just make the API call once, cache the prompt, and then you can go from there. So with prompt caching, you can mark the specific contiguous portions of your prompts to be cached, which is also called as prompt prefix, which I will show you shortly in a hands-on demo. When a request is made with the specific prompt prefix, the model processes the input and caches the internal state associated with the prefix. And then on the subsequent request with a matching prompt prefix, the model reads from the cache and skips the computation step required to process the input tokens. This reduces the time to first token or TTFT and also makes more efficient use of hardware such that the AWS share the cost with us. So, and if you have used these API based models in a production environment, you can appreciate that the cost can go through the roof in no time. So it is really a welcome feature in my opinion. And in this video, I'm going to show you a demo as how you can use it. Before I do that, let me also introduce you to the sponsors of the video, who are AgentBot. AgentBot lets you deploy a personalized knowledge bot across platforms like Discord, Slack, and others. It is ideal for open source tech communities and startups that provide user support, and I will drop the link to their website in video's description. Now let me take you to my VS Code, where we are going to check out the code first and then we will see it in action. So what is happening here is that I have already installed Boto 3 and we are importing the libraries required, and then we are defining this chat template where we are just using a document and we will chat with it. And these are the system prompts or instruction, a long prompt as you can see, where we are telling it what needs to be done to identify the relevant code, present the code and all that stuff. You can change it as per your own requirement. Once that's done, we are also encapsulating it in the message body, where we are specifying that this is the model which we are going to use, and then these are the user stuff, this is a document, and then this is a user query. It's a very typical prompt template with all the data in it. And then we are invoking this Bedrock runtime or instantiating that Boto 3 client. Boto 3 is the SDK from AWS to use these Amazon services in your API calls. And as I said, watch that Bedrock course and I have described it in detail. Then we are specifying our model. In this case, I'm using Claude 3.7 Sonnet, really a great model which we already have covered on the channel 2. And then we are passing on the prompt and then printing it. This is a document which I'm going to use, Amazon's own blog. And then we are making a query, and this is also going to print out the above function, that how exactly it is using it. Now if you look at this use case, and it is important to understand this document is included in the prompt as I showed you above, right? And what we are going to do, the static portion of the prompt would comprise instructions on response formatting and the body of the document, which we saw above. The dynamic portion would be the user's query, as you can see here, which changes with each request. So in this scenario, the static portion of the prompt should be marked as the prompt prefixes to enable prompt caching. And then you see this is the one which I'm referring to. And I will also scroll to the right just to show you everything here. So this is the one which I'm talking about. This is all the static portion. And then this is the whole code snippet which I'm going to use. And then we will see it in action. We will change this dynamic version at the end. So first I'm going to call it with this, and then I'm going to change the user query that is going to show us the difference between each one of them. So first let me run this and you will see the caching in action. So I already have set my AWS credentials and I'm logged into my account in my profile. So I'm just going to run this here. And there you go. You can see that now what has happened is that in the response to the my query, there is a usage section here that also is providing a matrix on the cache reads and the writes. So if you look here, the cache checkpoint has been successfully created with this 37206 token cached, as indicated by this cache creation input token. And we can easily see that in action. So now let me comment that prompt and use the second prompt. So now instead of using this one, I'm just going to uncomment this. I'm going to comment this and I'm going to run now this again. Let's see what happens. So previously there was no cache read input token, but now the static one has remained the same, but dynamic one has changed, and that is why you can see that now it has read from the cache. And these 10 is just the input token from the user. So there is already a saving, and as your workload grows, as your data grows, you will see more and more caching, of course, provided your prompts are identical and they are not different. As you will, if they are very different, then this feature won't help you out. Anyway, that's pretty cool feature, and I am always on the lookout for cost and latency saving features from any service. So really good stuff by Amazon Bedrock. Play around with it. Let me know how you go. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, please share it among your network as it helps. Thank you for watching.